Alright guys, I'm not Gary Vee. I don't know a ton of thing about wine, but one thing I do know is that the wineries in Okanagan Valley and the wineries around Kelowna are doing it right. And they're doing it right by telling a story. They're doing it right in marketing themselves and marketing the entire area as a whole. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm excited, going to visit a couple wineries, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The one thing that wineries do better than almost any other business that I've seen is they don't sell. Even with the wine tastings, even if you try a wine tasting, if you buy a bottle, you're able to waive that cost. They don't sell in any way, and when you're going through the tours, when you're going through the process of being at a winery, they just tell the story. They tell the story of how they bought the winery, how they developed the wine, what the wine is all about, the different types of grapes. They tell everything about it, and that story translates into value. It translates into you feeling their story and feeling like you're part of their brand story, and it keeps you coming back. It keeps you purchasing that wine, and it builds up this brand value, this brand equity that just translates to the brand over a long period of time. They're doing it right, and I think a lot of businesses around the world can learn from them.
The story of this winery started in 2017 when Dennis O'Rourke started blasting caves into the wine, into the mountainside, and planting grapes on the vineyard here.
All right, this is another example of how wineries are doing it right. Can you imagine if Nike only presented lives and only presented videos of how they make their shoes, what the factories look like? People would feel more secure about buying Nike shoes. Not that they don't already, but the brand equity is already built up. With wineries, what they do so well is they show you the process of how it's getting made. The tours allow you to experience that. They also show it through the glass, like you saw behind me just now. The presentation, the experience, the emotions that you feel when you're drinking the wine. That's what you're looking for, and that's what you're looking for your brand and for your products that you're trying to present out and market out. That's what makes the difference. That's what allows you to feel like you're part of that winery and part of that story. And that's what they do so well. So take note, your processes. Remember, anybody else can do what you do on a base level. So your processes, you have to be able to exemplify them. You have to show people. You have to allow them to trust you. You have to allow them to feel like they're part of your story. I said that way too many times today. We're gonna watch that on the next video. Nonetheless, this was fun. This was an experience, and if you ever get to the Okanagan Valley, make sure you get out to some wineries. All right, we've already been to Intrigue Winery. I got a little bit of B-roll there. Now we're at 55th Parallel. Food was amazing. I recommend it if you guys are in the area. And we tried out some wines here. I got some B-roll here, really amazing. We're gonna try a couple other ones. Then I'm gonna record a little bit of information later about Okanagan wineries in general and how they're telling the story, how they're marketing themselves with value first, not by selling, and in the end, that's all that matters.
Usually somebody from Kelowna, Lake Country, Vernon, and somebody from Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, part of the group.
All right, now we're at Grey Monk. Just a quick correction, we were at 50th Parallel before, and maybe I've had a couple too many wine tastings so far. But Grey Monk now, another popular one. I'm gonna go take a look inside and show you this sign now, just to show you how these stories are getting presented. Another fantastic experience at Grey Monk. Now we're going to Estilo, another place across, another mom and pop shop. There's a ton of mom and pop shop or small business wineries that are growing in Okanagan Valley. And it's bringing kind of more competition to the valley, but at the same time, it's building the entire story of the valley. So excited to try a couple more small ones. And then we'll sum it all up with a little bit of a summary at the end. This Pinot Grigio is crazy. All right, picked up a bottle of Pinot Grigio at Ex Nihilo, which is a boutique winery here in Okanagan Valley. Let's go check out a couple more and then let's call her a day. And it goes with what I say on a marketing presence all of the time. If you sell, you lose. What they do instead is they allow you to taste the wine, they allow you to experience it. And then if you purchase, you don't have to pay that that experience fee. You don't have to pay for that tasting fee. So they're not selling, and the entire time they're not selling specific wines to you. They're not telling you about discounts. They're not telling you about savings. They're telling you about the story of that wine, where the grapes were grown, how they were grown, what the weather conditions were like for that year. That makes the difference. That's what allows people to feel like they have experienced that wine. That allows them to almost feel like they are a part of the story of that wine. That's what makes them buy the wine. It's not about the sales. It's not about trying to sell people specifically. It's just about creating that storyline. Plus, what these wineries do so well is the views are spectacular. The experience, the food, the restaurants, the cafes. At Arrowleaf here, they had a cafe. They had a bunch of tiramisu, and they had some cream puffs along with the wine. Everything is about the experience. It has nothing to do with selling you. It has everything to do with how you feel. What I want you to do is I want you to learn from the wineries and apply it to your business. If you own a restaurant, try to create an experience that's unforgettable. If you're selling a product or service, stop selling and start telling a story of how you created that product, where that product is made. Be transparent, just like the wineries today where they told us where the grapes are getting grown and what type they are, where they came from, how long they've been here, how long. You gotta tell the story. So take the principles that wineries are exemplifying when they're going through this process. It's an important lesson for all marketers that if you sell, you lose. And in the end, stories are everything. Value, giving value back is everything. That's going to build your brand equity. That's going to take your brand to the next level.